Secretary Haaland, as you may already know, this committee recently held a hearing during which tribal members spoke openly about their fear, as well as others, of testifying in front of Congress due to retaliation from criminal drug cartels that have been openly targeting Indian lands, such as the Sonola and Jalisco New Generation, among others. These cartels have run rampant across Indian country, particularly in the northwestern region of the United States, and are enabled by the lack of enforcement of the border laws by the Biden administration. As a member of a federally recognized tribe, I would assume that you care about ensuring that our tribal communities are safe. Yes or no, have you spoken to President Biden or Secretary Mayorkas about the damaging impacts the administration's border policy has had on tribal communities?
Congresswoman, I have not. However, I want you to know that I have traveled around to tribes
Okay, but
around
you haven't
the country.
spoken to either President Biden or Mayorkas about the need to close the border in order to protect our tribal communities. Is that right?
I have not.
Is that correct? All right. Yes or no, do you believe that due to the unique nature of law enforcement operating in Indian country, is it fair to say that coordination with other agencies is crucial to tackling human and drug trafficking in Indian country?
Congresswoman, the president, when he first came to office.
Have you done anything to work with other agencies to tackle the human and drug trafficking in Indian country related to the border crisis?
Since the president has been in office, Congresswoman.
That is a yes or no question. Can you answer? Would you please answer my question?
Mr. Chairman, can you let the secretary answer the question?
She's not answering my question.
Congresswoman, since the president has been in office, he has restarted the White House Council on Native American Affairs. These are issues that we discuss. We take an intergovernmental approach to all of Indian country.
What have you done specifically to work with Mayorkas to close the border in order to protect our tribal communities from the cartel criminal activity?
Congresswoman, that is not in the department's mission. We manage our public lands,
So I
and we
take it
also
that means
uphold
you've
the
done
trust and
nothing.
treaty obligations of our nation's Indian
You have not
tribes.
done anything to work with Mr. Mayorkas, is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. During your time as secretary, what have you done specifically to work with our tribes to reduce and eliminate criminal cartels from targeting Indian country?
Congresswoman, I want you to know that tribes have been underfunded for decades and decades with respect to law enforcement and justice services, and
So
that is
have
one
you done
area where
anything
we are
specific?
working.
Have you done anything specifically to work with our tribes to address the drug trafficking and human smuggling that is going on related to the open border?
We are working very hard to make sure that Indian Affairs has several approaches to addressing recruitment and retention. We understand that they are understaffed in many of these areas, and we listen to tribes and how they would like us to move this issue
Madam
forward
Secretary,
for them.
what have you done as a cabinet-level secretary to convince Mr. Biden and Mayorkas to close the border in order to protect our tribal communities?
Congresswoman, it is my job to manage our public lands. The Department of the Interior manages our public lands and conserves our cultural heritage and natural resources for the American people, as well as upholding the trust and treaty responsibilities of our
But the Bureau of Indian
tribes.
Affairs is within the Department of Interior, correct?
Yes, ma'am, but
Okay. In 2018, under the previous administration, more than 3,200 pounds of illegal narcotics, estimated to be valued at $9.8 million, had been seized by the Office of Justice Services. How much did OJS seize in 2023?
Congresswoman, that would be up to the Department of Justice, and they can
You don't know?
probably inform you with the number of those pounds.
But you don't know?
I do not know.
Okay. Does DOI's opioid reduction task force still exist?
Congresswoman, thank you. We are working hard with tribes to ensure that we manage their justice services the way that they want
So
to.
the question was, does the Department of Interior's opioid reduction task force still exist?
Congresswoman, I would be happy to answer that for the record.
Is the answer yes or no?
I will be happy to answer that for the record.
You don't know as you sit here today?
I want to make sure that I give you the correct answer, and I will do that when I get back to my office.
Have you heard of the Rock Springs Resource Management Plan?
No, I have not.
Thank you, I'm out of time. I yield back.